So today, let's get the hood mounted, let's get the grill installed, let's make this thing look like a respectable lawnmower again. And then I got all new belts for this bad boy. We are still waiting for the tires. We'll probably do that later. They should be coming in sometime this week. I got a whole set of tires, all 4 of them, for $175 on the old Jungle website. These bad boys individually at Tractor Supply are $120 each for the back guys. I would love to not have to buy tires for us, because that's an extra $200 that I'm spending that I really don't need to. The back tires hold air just fine. The front tires, you got to air them up every time you go to use the thing, but they'll hold air for several hours, which is more than enough time for you to get any kind of real mowing done. That's fine, but hey, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it. I think to buy just 2 rear tires on Amazon was, I think it was about $120 or $150. And for just a few dollars more, you got 2 front ones too. So when those show up, we'll add those onto this with this tractor here. But today, we're going to drop the deck. We're going to flip the blades over so they're, you know, cutting instead of just beating things into submission. And then all new belts on there, so hopefully it's not slipping so much, so we can get some good blade speed and actually cut some stuff today, as well as getting the hood installed. So it looks like a respectable tractor and mows at the same time. Now, we can't do any of the deck adjustments, and I'm just gonna have to keep it running it up at its highest setting right now, simply because the 2 back tires are, the size of them is so different that it just leans off to the one side. And so the deck is actually at a pretty good angle as well. We'll get down to the deck adjustments. There is so much adjustment on this deck. You can forward, backwards, left and right, and ups and downs, all over the place, as well as belt tension adjustments. We're going to go over all that stuff today. So if you have any questions about how do I get my deck adjusted properly, well, it's a piece of cake. One of the things that I do want to do with this, I don't have the mulcher deck. The mulcher deck's completely covered, and it doesn't shoot stuff out. It doesn't spit out the clippings off to the side. I don't have that type of deck. I did find that they do make a plastic cover for it. It's like $25. I'm contemplating buying that, but I'm kind of concerned with it being plastic. I just don't know how long that's going to hold up. And I'm not that kind of a metal worker, sheet metal worker, where I could make a fancy thing. I'm kind of thinking just getting like a piece of mud flap and bolting it onto the end of the plastic chute here, just so it just kind of hangs over the end of it and, you know, keeps the rocks from reaching orbital velocity. Just keep them knocked down. I don't want to break windows in the house. I don't want to break windows in my pickup truck. I don't want to break windows in my service truck. And I don't want to break any more windows on the old Scout here. So it's kind of that's the goal. All right, let's get down in here real quick. We got these guys just everywhere. Okay, so the first things first, we have this bar here. That's supposed to be permanently affixed on this side, but the bolt that holds it, that threads into the plate on the actual deck here, the threads are completely shot. So I went ahead and bought a nut. So when we'll get this deck out, we can put it on there with a nut on the back side, lock her in there, and then we can affix this permanently later. Yeah. So you got those guys there, simple. Then you got these two, your actual frame that the deck hangs on, which is connected directly to your lever. Or maybe you got the powered one, the electric powered one, same thing. It's got a frame that lowers and raises. So that's the next thing to do. There's a couple, just like everything, a couple snap rings, or what do you call it, cotter pins, D-rings, doohickey-mabobs, whatever it is that you call them. It's got a couple of those. And then we have our drag links up front here. So let's get those guys off next. Oh, how stiff. We're gonna need a pair of pliers for those guys, aren't we? All right. Well, why did I take that one off? I should take that one off. I should leave this one on. Okay. All right, there we go. These little lift arms here got plenty of play in them. Shift it forward, drop the belt, push her back, and out she goes. Kind of. Your drag links kind of get in the way a little bit, but you know, you know what I'm saying. All right. Sweet. Well, as you can see, we got a lot of goodies on top. This is, you know, it's Arizona, okay? There's not a lot of green stuff. Although it's green for like a week. It rains, everything's green. It grows like 1.5 feet, and then nothing. So, you know, it's fine. But let's, I'm going to push this thing outside, and we're just going to kind of knock all the stuff outside. So we're not poking our fingers with all this kind of stuff here. And then we will replace this belt and this belt. This belt probably does, this one doesn't look too bad. This guy right here, this poor belt is just smoked. Holy cows, it's smoked. I've personally burned that clutch, or belt, I should say, several times. Chicken wire, extension cords, branches, bricks. I mean, we are mechanically cleaning the entire yard out there. Every little thing that's not weeds. We're going to pick it up, each and every single piece, one at a time. You have my word. We're going to use this bad boy to do it. I'm kind of thinking we should leave the blades on backwards for just a while until we get all the mumbo jumbo cleaned out and then flip them around, but whatever. The blades are cheap. It's like $40 for a whole new set. So, and you can sharpen them a bunch of times before you need to replace them. So let's get this bad boy cleaned off real quick. Let's get these old belts off. Let's get some new belts on there. Let's do the traction belt while we're at it, because why not? It's right there. And then let's get this hood mounted. Let's go take her for another spin. Let's go mow some more grass. Might as well. All right. While we got her flipped upside down, let's just flip these blades over real quick. So you can tell which way the blades are supposed to go because the exit's that way. It's designed to cut. This one's going to fling it this way. This one's going to fling it that way. And that one's going to go ahead and just fling it the rest of the way around. So if you're ever questioning, which way do my blades go? That's the way that they go. So now we can see it'll go that way, and sharp edge will spin. don't want those guys hitting, so we're going to come back. Is that one? Yeah, that is one. Okay. .46-inch mulcher blade. We did chew up the back side of the blade pretty good. I think, should we have those two match up? Well, they won't. Yep. Sounds good to me. All right. So this is the way the belt sits like that. We got these little plastic covers here. They got some Torx. That's too small. T30. Perfect. Let's get these little plastic covers off. They are hex head. You could use probably, well, let's check, 3/8. Yep. You can also use 3/8, but Torx is easy enough also. Let's pop that guy off. And these are supposed to have 3. One of the plastic tabs there was broken off, so 2's fine. That's all it really needs. Anyway. Looks like this guy is broken off and been repaired on a time or two. So that's factory approved. Where did you go? There you are. Perfect. Okay. Let's keep you guys out of the way. Now, this belt looks pretty dang simple. There is actually a little diagram right here kind of showing front of the tractor, how the belt kind of loops around. Also the secondary, or the one that loops all 3 of the blades together. You do have this tension spring here. So this pulley right here is going to be under some tension, keeping that nice and tight. So that's good. So we'll have to pay attention to that when we go to take that off. These little tabs here, that you don't got to bend them out of the way. They just flex kind of slightly out of the way. You don't want to bend those off. Those help keep the blade, oh, well, I'll be dipped. That got a tension spring on that bad boy too. So you can adjust this thing back until you get that tension on that set. That we're learning stuff every day. Okay, so what do we got here? Straight across the back. From here to here, straight across the back, over the top of this one, behind the back of that one, and then over to this one. Simple enough. It's these 3, and then you just lock it in. Okay. Let's sweet. Let's go see which belt this one is. Yep. That's about the right length. Right-cha. Okay. So underneath this pulley, straight across from that pulley to that pulley, I'm going to go over this guy and then behind that guy. So I think this is going to be the difficult one to get on. There we go. Perfect. How hard was that? Okay, so that was our, now we got this guy. These are both the exact same thicknesses, but this one's thicker and this one's thinner. I'm going to say the thin belt we're going to use for the drive, and we're going to use this thicker belt here for this little feller. Okay, so it's going to come from the engine. We're going to go around that guy. Oh yeah, that does fit in there nice. And then we're going to go over here to this guy. And we're going to go behind that guy. And then that's our, yep, that looks about right. Okay, sweet. So that's done. Two of you go over there. And then the three of you go over here. They're literally getting ready to throw it in the trash. Like, oh, this thing's a pile of junk. We're just throwing it in the trash. We figured we'd put it up on Facebook Marketplace for $100 and just see if anybody would buy it from us for scrap metal. And I said, yeah, I'll buy it from you for scrap metal. So, does this thing sit? It's got a little bit of warp to it, but it really ain't too bad. Especially for the kind of weeds that we're going to be chopping down. That's fine. Okay, let's see if I remember how that belt goes on. Great. Let's roll this bad boy. See this bad boy back under here. Yep. Okay. All right. Oh, yep. Let me go. All right. We're back. So the first thing you do when you get the, once you have the deck underneath there, is get your belt. Hook the belt onto the PTO shaft. Okay. Number one. Number two, go ahead and lower your doohickey bobs down, that your actual blade lift. Support bracket. Get that guy down. Right there. And the same over here on this side. Oh, that put a lot of tension on the. What are these guys gonna look like? Yeah, we need to run these guys way in. They're way too far forwards. It's trying to push that deck back. That's these drag links up here in the front, just to keep the front of the deck from digging down into the ground. You catch something, keep it from digging down. It kind of helps pull it out. So I'm going to leave those guys, but we need to readjust those now that we have a good belt that's actually tight on here. And you can see that, I don't know if you can see it, but that spring is definitely under tension. So that's what we want. So the two levers, the two arms on the bottom that do this, that are directly connected to this lever here. Those are the two that you put on first. You hook the belt, you push it back, you hook those two arms. Then you proceed to hook up everything else. If you do those last, or you do the one in the back that keeps it from sliding, shifting side to side, if you do that one first, then you can't get the other two in. It all snowballs. So you slide it under there, you hook the belt around the PTO shaft, you push it back, get your spring tension set, and then you hook your two levers on the inside, hook those on the inside, put your cotter pins in, or your spring pins, hair pins, bobby pins, whatever you call them. You put those guys in, then you can put your one on the back that holds it side to side. Then the very last thing you can do is install your drag links on the front. I'm going to just kind of gingerly install them without tightening anything yet, and then we'll come back here in a second, measure them, make sure they're basically the same length, and then we'll tighten it down. So from here to there, let's call that 10 and 5/8. And then this side right here is also, yeah, that's actually pretty dang close, 10 and 5/8 right there. So it looks good to me. So lock that bad dude down. I don't think, yeah. We're gonna need to go get the, all right, I'll be right back. All right, we got our metric 3/4. Let's go ahead and measure these. On mine, I'm at 10 and 5/8 on both sides. That's going to keep it relatively straighter-ish. And then let's get our standard 3/4 on the back. We'll get our metric 3/4 on the front here. There she goes. Now look to this side. Shouldn't be too deep, probably. Nope. Frame's got a little tweak on that side. That's all right. Okay, we have yet to actually see the mower with the hood installed. So there she goes. Yeah, looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I don't know if we're off by much, a lot, a little. I think that's about where it's supposed to sit. Okay, let's get these off first. You can tell the guy, whoever had this before, he tried to reinforce and beef this up as much as he could to keep it from just completely disintegrating the plastic, but it's just a bad design. If you just leave it like this, if you just go ahead and use, that's 7/16. It's a bad design, yes, and it's a bad design, no. Yes, because you're relying on plastic to provide structural support to the hood, which is all steel and relatively heavy. Which is bad, yes, because you're just going to break the plastic off. But no, because, well, you got it there. You might as well use it. So look at this one here. I can kind of see, but this one looks to be fairly straight. This guy's got a pretty good little tweak to it. So I'm going to go take this bad boy out to the vise real quick, and we're just going to kind of tweak on her, get her straightened out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, as you can see, he drilled these holes, added these holes to the sides of it to try to get a little extra, purchase on the plastic grill. My goal, what I'm going to try to do, is completely eliminate the need for the plastic grill to do anything except just sit there and look pretty. I'm going to really try to, we're going to weld these two together, basically. Long story short, there's your hinges back here. They attach onto the steel hood, and then, but the only problem is that there's a lot of this going on, and that's what the plastic was there for. The plastic really doesn't actually support much in the way of weight, but it attaches across the front here on both sides and gives some lateral stability to the hood when you're opening and closing it. Well, we're going to eliminate that. I don't want the plastic doing anything. Okay, so we got those bad boys straightened up pretty good. I'm not going to be using any of this hardware. I mean, I might. I don't know. So we're going to put it in a little paint cup there, but you can kind of look at them now. For hood hinges for riding lawnmower, they're pretty dang close. So next thing we're going to do, let's grab some of these nuts we got here. We're going to go ahead and bolt these bad boys straight onto the steel hood. We're going to make all the adjustments and tweaks right there, and we're going to get these bad boys locked in on the hood, on the tractor, right where they're supposed to be. All right. So we'll go ahead and hook that bad boy into place of the hood. It's just the way it is. Okay, sometimes. Oh. Okay, so obviously we need to get this thing adjusted, and it's in and out, up and down, lefts and rights, and all the things. So that's what we're going to do right now. Still got a little play in there. All right, we still got wibble wobble movement in there. Okay, so where are you sitting at? About there? Yep, that seems about right. Really good and tight. Okay. So you guys are on there good and tight. How bad is it going to look on there? Am I going to be going on the eBay and looking to spend $400 on a plastic grill that ain't broken? That'll do. Should be all right. Yep, that actually looks about right. It's not too bad. You can see down here, obviously the bottom half of the grill is completely broken off, but that's not too bad. And actually, if we wanted to, probably come in here with the trim this all up a little bit, or let's be honest, probably just going to leave it. Just going to be 35-year-old lawnmowers you use to mow weeds in Arizona. You know. Okay. And we got some round rod. Pretty heavy duty round rod. I'm kind of thinking this guy, right? We'll have to, we're gonna go across right there. I think that's actually gonna clear everything that we need it to clear. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna measure from here to here, 16 inches. Perfect, it's close enough. And then I think what I'm gonna do is right before we actually do any of the welding, we're going to use a couple ratchet straps or something to hold these nice and square and straight. So we set that on there, weld it in there. I'm just gonna weld it across the bottom right off the bat. Okay, so we got our piece of metal here. It's about the right length. We're going to get our ratchet strap here. Just gonna hook it over the sides and we're gonna pull it like this. Let's see, kind of, oh, look at that. Okay, that's pretty. That's pretty good right there. It's actually pretty dang good right there. Of course, we're gonna do the right thing. Use a framing hammer for the other side here. Yeah, right there. Where'd my paper protectors go? All right. Safety first. Got our safety glasses on. We'll get our gloves. Okay. That way there's only a little bit of paint in the way. Okay. Ow. Also, yeah, because we're going to be welding on the inside, so we're going to get the back side of this guy here. This side's ground down, so now we got nice fresh along there, and then the back side is nice and ground down. So once this is welded together, then we'll flip the hood forward, weld the back side here, back side here. So let's put this bad boy on. Let's try to center her up. I don't really like that. I'd rather it. Well, I'd rather you just stay up there. So what I'd really rather. Can you stay up there now? Can you stay up there now? What about now? You gonna stay up there now? How about now? You gonna stay there? Nope, nope, nope. What? We caught it. We caught it. Okay. 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 All right, I do like that. And then we can come over here. We can do any adjustments, tweaks, squaring it up on this side. I want to make sure it's nice, and that way when we flex and tweak to get these two together, they'll match up, right? We're not worried about that. See how much weeble wobble we got going on there? That's fine. Weld up, and I'm just going to tack this side. Then I'll come over here, square this side up, tack it, and then we'll call it a day. Okay. We actually need to move the mower over there because I can't reach with the welder all the way over here. I don't have an extension cord for it yet. That's probably close enough. Yeah. Yep, that's close enough. Okay. Let's get her. You're over here on this guy. Sweet. Nice. Okay, let's pop this ratchet strap here. See what she looks like. Well, I'll be dipped. Sold in the shape. I mean, of course I already knew that. That's gonna be fun. Now let's okay, so let's throw a nice little bead right down in here. You know, getting this hood all welded up kind of reminds me of one of my favorite Bible verses. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Yep, that'll do. So if you don't have a welder, you don't have to weld this up. You could drill holes and just bolt this plate on that I'm doing. You know, this little angle iron that I'm doing here. You just bolt it on. You know, you don't have to weld it. I mean, welding's cool and all, you know, but it's not the end of the world if you don't have a welder. You can still make this project work. But now look at this. This hood, you could never do this with it, but this is what I'm talking. See, it's still got a little left to right wibble wobble. So that's what I want to try to remedy. Now, you could never, if without that bar across there, I could not do this with this hood. You couldn't do this because those two are completely independent of each other, and this whole thing would be just flopping around. You couldn't do this. So just the fact that we can do that alone makes this whole project worth it, just right there. get her wire brushed here. Grab some black paint, get her a quick, you know, make her look brand new. Factory, actually. There you go. Brand spanking new. Is it gonna mess up the paint? Probably, but you know, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. We're not. All right. There we go. You gonna stay? Sure. Watch, it's gonna fall in 2 seconds. Can I reach the inside? They're gonna fall off. Yep, they're gonna definitely fall off. Can't tighten these fellers up. Don't move. Stay. That's all she was gonna write. That's all she wrote. Past tense. Shouldn't fall out. It was crack because it's transported by one side only. That's fine. Question is, because both of these tabs they're kind of half broken. Those tabs are full, so you got a good purchase with the washer. These guys are broken, so we're just gonna try to, you know, yeah, that's tight enough. I don't want to break the studs or the plastic. So now the headlights are officially plugged in. The grill's officially installed. There you go. How does she look? Looks like a riding lawnmower if you ask me. I mean, it's obviously missing a pretty good sized chunk over here. And then there's a pretty good sized chunk that's kind of missing over here. You know. But now that we got the grill installed, it's actually, the grill is providing a little bit of support. Don't really want it to, but it is. Kind of thinking just that one reinforcement plate, probably all we really, really need. We'll see how it goes. Famous last words. We'll see how it goes. It'll be fine. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're done for today. It's about all we can do. The hood sits on there square and nice and tight. Doesn't just flop around. It doesn't like when you go to put it on. It's not like, you know, twisting off to one side. It just sits nice and square and straight. You look at it, body lines all kind of line up still and everything. So I think we did pretty good. I feel like this hood setup here is 100,000 times better than it was before. And in all honesty, it's in the down position when you're using it. And you can see when you're using it, it fits pretty tightly up here around the dash. And so that gives it a lot of rigidity and support. It's probably fine. Hey, you know what? Haven't started this thing since last week. Let's do a cold start. She's on idle. No choke. Let's just see what she does. Well, of course, the starter's going to... Is the starter going out? There it goes. Okay. Okay, she does need the choke. So well, I tell you this, that those are spinning 1,000 times faster than they were before with that old belt. That old belt, you kick it on and they're kind of, they weren't, this is like terrifying. They just, yeah, they're getting after it. Kind of impressive. It's going to cut way better. In addition to just the blade speed being probably twice as fast as it was before, now the blades are all facing the right way, so that you actually be cutting. We just quadrupled the cutting capacity of this machine. We're getting really close on this bad boy. Can't wait to get it finished and just mow weeds. Just mow weeds. I want to see how this bad boy chews down those weeds now that the blades are facing the right way, and we actually got some RPMs out of them. So, be nice to have a seat that kind of, you can step your leg over. That sucker's so far forward.